Chickpea ceviche today. I'm kind of on a chickpea kick this week. I made some roasted chickpea snacks the other day. Hope you got to see that. Today I'm doing chickpea ceviche. Probably had ceviche with whitefish. This is a vegetarian spin. I like it's great as a side dish for doing Mexican night or just a main dish if you just really want something light for dinner, and that's really healthy. So we're going to begin with all of our ingredients. It's going to have avocado and limes and red onion and jalapeno, hot, cilantro, and obviously chickpeas and some seasonings, and you're not going to worry about any of that because we're going to post all of it at ginaathome.com. So just sit back and watch what I'm doing here, and you can see how to make a great side dish that's also vegetarian and healthy. We're going to start with our chickpeas. We'll start by draining and rinsing the chickpeas, and as those are just draining, we're going to do all of our other ingredients. Okay, so we're just going to leave these. You can give them a shake. Just going to let them sit. And we're going to start with cilantro, not parsley. Now remember, when you go to the grocery store, they're right next to each other. Always make sure you get cilantro if you need cilantro, because I've had my husband come home with cilantro instead of Italian parsley, and Italian parsley instead of cilantro. So make sure you check to make sure that it's cilantro. You know, it has a very distinct smell. We're just going to give this a coarse chop. Put it in our bowl in front of me. Nothing too fancy. You don't have to be a master at cooking for this. And from here, you could always add more if you want. We're going to move on to our red onion. Don't you worry about any of the mess because this is all going in the same bowl. And these mats are great. These plastic mats, they clean up easily. I highly suggest you get one or two. Our red onion, not a white onion, but a red onion. Definitely a different flavor. And with this, we're going to do it a little smaller pieces. If you want it chunky, you can do it chunky, but I find that if your pieces are cut and diced up really small, it's just a better taste, better texture. We're going to do just 2 or 3 thin strips, and we'll see how great I do this without my glasses in front of my eyes. And you're all going to bear with me and be nice if I screw it up. All right, the red onion, here we go. Just stack them up. See that? And you're just going to do little cuts. I'm going to go slow. When you're cutting, nails in, knuckles out. You don't want to take out a fingertip. Nails in, knuckles out. And go slow. I'm just going slow. Ensure no band-aids are needed. Here we go. And then you just turn them over, around. Give them another little cut. And if you don't want to use all of it, you don't have to. You can keep cutting them down if you need to. Now I'm not going to use all of this. I'm just going to give a little bit, maybe a little bit more. As I said, if you want them bigger, cut them bigger. If you want them smaller, cut them smaller. And move that aside. Clean off my knife a little. Your jalapeno. If you have, what I always love to pull out in these videos, any kind of plastic gloves, I suggest you use them when cutting up a jalapeno or any hot pepper, because that hotness will get into your fingers. And even if you wash your hands with soap, it'll come back to haunt you a little bit. It sticks with you and stays into your skin. I've gotten in the shower at the end of the night, and my hands hit the water and they're burning, and I haven't understood why. It's from the heat off of the pepper. So just be careful. So if you have these, use them. I'm going to forego these today. And you're going to cut it top off, cut it down the middle. We're going to take these, I'll cut it down one more time. You've got your little quarters. I'm going to take the seeds out. Most of the heat's in the seeds. And here we go. We're going to do strips, okay? Once again, knuckles out, fingers in. Ooh. And we're just going to do little tiny pieces. And if you really want to have some fun, make some margaritas with this. Makes everything better. We'll put jalapeno in there. We're going to do another one. And when cutting things this thin, you definitely need to be paying attention. Okay, jalapeno. We're going to do one more side. And if you want, you can get your husband to do this part. Let his hands get all hot. Clean out the seeds. If you want to rinse them under the sink, that's fine too. We're collecting our nice little composite of mess here. Next, we're going to do the limes. And those are fun because we get to use my favorite tool in the kitchen, the microplane. And if you don't have a microplane, I highly suggest you invest in one. Bed Bath & Beyond, you gotta love their coupons, 20% off. Use it and buy yourself a microplane. Now if you want, you can put a second pepper in here. If you really like it spicy, put it in a habanero, but definitely you wear gloves for that one. So we got our onion done. We're gonna move on to our limes. You need 4 of these. But what you're gonna do with one of them, you're gonna wash it, you're gonna dry it, and now you're gonna use my favorite tool, the microplane. See, it's a long skinny grater. Love this. It's wonderful for all zesting, for cheese, for most things. And you're just gonna zest. This is what they call zesting a lime. One of these limes. There we go. And we're gonna juice these. Next, you can use an electric juicer. You can use this little guy, which I love. I have 2 of these. These are wonderful because cleaning a juicer can sometimes be a pain. And I love the smell of all of this. I'm more of a salt than a sugar person, and I've been making cookies all week for a cookie book that I'm coming out with that I've been working on. It'll be there soon, available. And so just the smell of something other than sweet is wonderful. I keep saying to my husband, taste the cookies, and my kids, everybody has done nothing but eat cookies for like 2 weeks now. Lime. Got half a lime. I'm going to move all this stuff out of my way so you can see better. We'll reposition everything. So, isn't this awesome? I love this. I've seen this everywhere. I've seen it where it's all plastic. I like the glass with the plastic top. Goes in the dishwasher. It's fantastic. Your lime, and you just twist. And it'll catch any seeds or any extra pulp that you don't want. And if your limes are too hard, that's when you call your husband. Or your brother, or your boyfriend, or whomever. There we go. We're almost done. We've got halfway through the limes. Now it's very important because your lime is your dressing. You're not going to put any oil on this. Nothing. It's just lime is it with some seasoning. And then we're going to cut up this avocado, which is fresh and ripe, and it looks wonderful. And the best part about avocado is that it creams up so nicely. And beyond just guacamole, you take an avocado and you cut it into your salad at dinner, and you mix it up with just a little olive oil and vinegar, and you mix it around. It creates such a creamy avocado dressing, and you still have the chunks that stay, and it's wonderful. Okay, so look at that. Awesome, great, no seeds, no pulp, just juice. Now we're going to put that in. The last thing we're going to do is our avocado, as you just heard me talking about. I'm going to clean a little bit of this up. Look at that. Get it right out of your way. Now we're ready for the avocado. I'm going to show you a real easy way to cut one of these up. I'm sure you've seen it before, but we're going to go through it again. I always like to cut the end off first a little bit because you'll find if you don't, and then you do your half slice, a lot of times that little tiny end gets scooped up and ends up in your food, and that's not fun. So I always just like to take a little slice, and now you don't have to worry, see, of this little end thing getting into your food. We're going to discard that. You got your avocado, make a center slice, bring your knife all the way around, give it like a little half twist, voila. Now, this, you may have seen this before too, how to get this out of your avocado without having to scoop it out. Sharp knife, put it in. See that? Pretty cool. That's my kid's favorite trick. They always say, Mom, I love when you do that. Are you cutting the avocado now? It's just a silly little thing. Now I want dices. So I'm not going to scoop this completely out and then dice it. I'm going to make these slices in a grid while the avocado is still in its skin. Just a silly little trick. Take this. I'm all about making things a little bit easier in the kitchen. Okay, now we're going to take our bowl, a big spoon, and we're going to do it in layers. I'm going to do this so you can see it, hopefully. Little layers. That's how you get your diced pieces. And you didn't have to worry about scooping it out and doing it and then taking it off of your counter. I'm going to do another one. Like that. The funny thing is you can do the exact same thing with cantaloupe. Everybody makes fun of me when Mommy cuts the cantaloupe, because I always pre-cut the slices and the dices, and then I cut it. Now we have all of our filling. We have our jalapeno, our cilantro, our red onion, lime juice, the zest of the lime, and now the avocado. And the only thing we're missing, ingredient-wise, that you're gonna eat is the drained chickpeas. It's gonna look really pretty. It's gonna have a lot of color too. So now we have to season it. We always salt, pepper. I do a little extra pepper. Salt. Now, I always add to this, and we really just need salt and pepper. I personally prefer to add sea salt. I said earlier, I got a thing for salt. I'm more salty than sweet, and I love sea salt. There's a great company out of Washington State, Saltworks. You can get every possible sea salt flavored, every grind that you can think of. Amazing. This happens to be their coarse grind. And I will tell you that I prefer the small grind versus the coarse. These are a little big, but if you let this sit a little bit and let all the flavors kind of seep in, this melts down just a little bit, and so you don't really bite into too much of that crunchy sea salt. But I highly suggest small grain. Sea salt, Saltworks, love it. And now all we have to do, mix it up. Look how cool this looks. Wait till the onion comes up. And remember, if you want more of anything in here, put it in. You want a little more onion? Put it in. You want a hotter pepper? Go ahead. The recipes I give you, I want you to do with what you want to do with. Just consider it a base. You want to leave it as is? Great. If you want to just add your own twist, please do. I love when people do that. They just get creative with it. And here we go. This is a chickpea ceviche, and it is outstanding. You'd be surprised how much flavor and how satisfying this dish is. Chickpea ceviche, nice little side vegetarian meal or a side dish. You will not be unhappy with this, I promise. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope this helped, and I hope you keep watching.